Good day, YouTubers, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls from all around the world. Look what I got at the Florida Flywheel event. We got a good deal on it too. Needs some work, but we're good at doing work. Big fat rooster. Chickens are calling. We want worms. Here they come running whenever I walk back here. Oh my gosh. One egg. What are you doing over there? Yeah, I'll get you some worms here in a minute. We gotta do a little show and tell. The ship is temporarily in its final position. So I got one piece of glass off on the side here so I can get the ship fitted and all. And I got to clean the glass on the inside before I permanently mount that or glue it down or whatever. And then we got some connections to make up under there, and I ain't got hardly any room to play with, so it's going to be a little challenge. We got the lights installed and the top of the cabinet permanently attached to the corner rounds. I might even add something in the end there to make it a little stronger too. Got a whole bunch of screws around the top to hold that together. So and all the trim pieces are ready to go on. They're labeled where they go. Glue them on last after we get everything connected and cleaned and tested. I already tested this once, but I want to make sure before I also got to test this for the lights on the ship once we get it connected. So let me pull this out, set it on the table, and clean the glass real good on the inside. So once I stick the ship back in there, other than gluing the ship to the base and the stand and gluing the stand to the floor, we got to get that connection hooked up. And it's sort of like these over here. It can be disconnected easily just by pulling them apart. Well, not easily, but 2 pair of pliers, you can pull it apart. And then I might put some hot glue on that and glue it down. Alright, I think I got enough light in here so the camera can see what I'm doing. I got brown and blue, which is European. Blue is always negative or neutral, and brown is hot. And then the other two from the ship are red and clear. I just used the red magic marker and marked the outside of the wire so I know which one was positive and negative. And I think I'm going to try to do this negative or the positive one first, because the one coming out of the bottom of the board there is turned the wrong way. It turned like that. I think it went in on top of the connector, not into the blade. It should have been a little stiffer than that. Let me move this one light out of the way, because you guys can see, but I can't get my hand in there. I should have put my glasses on. I got to make sure I'm in the grabby part of that female spade connector. So I think it is. Now let's try the negative. Get it up here so we can get a hold of it. Okay, let's turn the lights on. Yes. So you can see our lanterns are burning. We'll glue this switch down. I got a spare battery taped onto the battery box, but I need to take that tape off and then make sure that if I do glue that down there, that I can still open it and put a new battery in it without moving it, ungluing it. So we hit the switch button, that little white thing, and our lights come on. All right. So now I got the ship glued down to the base. And I did that while I had it out of the case so that I could make sure the position was right for these wires. And I might just bend those down flat there. Try to get them to lay in the bottom. Maybe put a dab of hot glue on them. Keep them there. But you still be able to remove it if you needed to. So now the base is not glued down in the case yet because I wanted to make sure I could get that connection done and have the flexibility to do that. So now I got the glass cleaned on the inside of these 3 panels. We'll step back and make sure that everything is centered. Get some measurements here, and maybe I'll make a little mark with a black magic marker where the edge stops at, and glue the base down to the 2 coats of lacquer. I did a coat of lacquer on that base after I'd stained it, and it sort of turned milky after it dried. I said, oh my gosh, what happened there? This wood was fine. I didn't have any issues with that at all. With 2 coats and all the way around. I didn't get it down in the groove, but I did nice thick coats on the face. So I had to take some acetone on a rag and wipe it down and get that lacquer off of there, or at least make a sheen on it so it didn't look milky, sort of white, milky, powdery look. Sort of like you see over here. That's what it was everywhere. So let me get some measurements and make sure it's in the right spot, and we got just a little bit of play so we can get some glue underneath it, because the top of the ship is about an inch away, or 3/4 of an inch away from that lid. So while we got power here, let me plug in those lights up there. And this will have a extension cord or whatever, so it can plug into the wall. And we got a switch up here. Turns them on. So that really lights it up nice for display. Nice soft white. I think those are 3500K LED. So I had a friend from church that had some old can lights in his dining room, and it's probably 4 or 5 years ago we bought these from the internet, and one of them went out. He had 3 of them burning and one of them went out. So I said, oh, I'll see if I can find something to match it. And because that company went out of business, I couldn't find the same profile, or so he had this big 10-inch hole cut in his 9-inch hole cut in his ceiling. So we had to do something. So I did find some that were 9 inches, and they had a little bit tougher frame on them, heavier duty built with their own separate ballast box. It looked a lot better. quality wise. So I had him buy those, and they were only $19 a piece, and went over there and put them in for him. Told him it was going to be like a warranty call. I wasn't going to charge him, but he said, I don't want these old ones. You can have them since one of them was bad. So he gave me all 4 of them. And I don't know where the other one is, but this is the one that didn't work. So I opened it up to look at it, and you can see the brown wire busted off of that solder spot down in there where it says L. And I can fix that. I just got to pop that board out of the box and strip these wires back. I can repair that and get it working, so I'll use that for the next case for the HMS Bounty, because we got to build another case for the HMS Bounty. I don't think I'm going to duplicate this one here. There's another piece of this, I think it's 1/4 or 5/16 at Home Depot, that's got a big crack on one end, 4 foot by 8 foot, and they got it marked down because it's got that crack on it, and the spot where the crack is will be scrap when I do the cut, so I'll be able to save, because a 4x8 sheet of this stuff brand new is like almost $300, and this one I got for $88 US, and that was a steal as far as some good thick Lexan plexiglass acrylic. This is the kind that's brittle, so it'll crack if you don't be real careful with it when you're drilling and cutting it. So you got to be cautious how you handle it. But that is still there because I was there the other day looking at some other stuff, and nobody wants it because it's cracked on the end. So I'll get that piece. We'll make another case just like this one for the HMS Bounty. And I'll have 2 lights to put in it just like this one. That worked out really good. That's a blessing from God there. So let me get some measurements on this bad boy and line her up so she's in there in the right spot and glue it down. Then we can clean the outside glass and put that other piece on. Clean that. These pieces of tape are for when we put all this trim on to cover up our seams. And we'll just glue that on there with some silicone so it can be cut easily and removed. But that covers up the joint and that corner round that's on the inside. You see that corner round inside there. And just glue them on. So cool, that's a big step. We'll be able to move this into the house next week. I gotta find a spot in there for if I can fit it in that room with all the other ships, because this box is 42 by 36 by 12 and a half, and actually this is like 16. The base is wider than the case is, so get a little profile reveal on the edge. Okay, we got her glued down inside the case. We got the battery box glued down. We put all the outside trim pieces on and glued them on. Put a lot of tape on there to hold them trim pieces while they dry. Day or two maybe. That's just some soft what is that? Through the roof. Sticks wet. It's a nice, clear, soft. I don't know if it's silicone or if it's something different. Should be easy to cut through. I think it actually stays. You know, it'll dry to a not hard, but spongy like when it dries, not sticky. So it's flexible because roofs expand and contract. I think that's the secret with this stuff. I got two tubes of it back when my roof was leaking, and ended up using it on some other stuff. It works really good for other stuff. So the ship is in the display case till the end of time, or somebody buys it and takes it out. Did I forget anything? Hope not, because it's too late if I did. Well, let's pull the tape off. Pretty good, eh? me all night to take this tape off. Well, we obviously got to do that in the back too, and then we'll take some Windex and clean the outside of the glass. Roll this baby in the house. Let me turn the lights off. We'll do the lanterns on the ship. Probably can't see the ship now, but you can see the lanterns. Thanks for watching.